bass screaming, rubber burns on black. Engines roaring thunder, ain't no turning back. Beast make a friction, sparks light the night. Track of war sounds, adrenaline takes flight. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve out the name. Rebels on my six, but my grit don't waver. Drafting wind sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce compete. Rebels on my six, but my grit don't waver. Drafting wind sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce compete. Tires grip tight, flames dance on steel. Spins and skids twist, every moment surreal. Checker flag whispers a siren's call. Only one metalhead lies above it all. Turbocharged fury on straights we fly. Nitrous veins pumping, we touch the sky. Back grandstands buzz, saying our name. Each lap we conk ignites the game's flame. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve out the name. Wah! Mellow bass screaming, rubber burns on black. Engines roaring thunder, ain't no turning back. Beast make a friction, sparks light the night. Track of war sounds, adrenaline takes flight. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve out the name. Rebels on my six, but my grit don't waver. Drafting wind sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce compete. Rebels on my six, but my grit don't waver. Drafting wind sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce compete. Tires grip tight, flames dance on steel. Spins and skids twist, every moment surreal. Checker flag whispers a siren's call. Only one metalhead lies above it all. Turbocharged fury on straights we fly. Nitrous veins pumping, we touch the sky. Back grandstands buzz, saying our name. Each lap we conk ignites the game's flame. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve out the name. Wah!
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rumble here this evening from the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway. And you guys just saw a little bit of that qualifying action. It is the 42 rider Kevin Winker that we were watching just laid down the quickest lap there in that qualifying session. So for all the Winker Nation fans in the stands, here for the Duck Donuts 172, it's Kevin Winker who will be starting in the pole position. And Sean Arita coming into the chat says hashtag Winker Nation. Amanda Joy with the Go Winker, hashtag Winker Nation as well. Brandon Noah says let's go, hashtag Winker Nation. Mrs. Holler in the chat as well says have a great race tonight. Cheering on all these amazing drivers. K-Dub in the chat as well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys congratulate Kevin Winker in the chat right now. After laying down that quick time here in qualifying, he will start in that pole position position. As K-Dub says, let's go. Pole, baby, number 42. Yes, Sirski. What a run, what a lap, what a performance right there for Kevin Winker as K-Dub does qualify here for the Duck Donuts. 172 in the pole position as we'll get everybody ready to rock and roll here. They are going to get a quick little warm-up session here. Now, they're might be a few that jump out onto the racetrack, but for most of these drivers, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be, going through all the steps. They're going to be talking with the admin group, and they're going to be doing their drivers meeting right now, making sure that everyone's on the same page, everyone knows what's going on, as we will have, I believe it's 115 laps of racing action here this evening from the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway. And for these drivers, there is one stage break. There is one stage that will bring out a caution flag. That'll be at the completion of lap number 30 here this evening. So for each and every one of these drivers, it's all about that game plan, about the strategy, where you want to be, what you want to do, and how you need to get it done here this evening to try and put yourself into that winning situation. As we do see a few drivers getting ready to roll out onto the racetrack here, they're going to get a little bit of warm up. There's that Majula State Speed Shop, NAS Energy number 318 machine of Mr. Matthew Catania. We do see the Cheeto C4 Energy 133. Ashley Ellison Jr. also sliding out there onto the speedway. Merrick Watchorn in that beautiful Twiggy, hopefully I'm getting that right. The Twiggy 91 ride out there is the 91 of Merrick Watchorn is jumping out there, laying down some good laps here. We do see Rooster Rana now sliding out. Here comes Brandon Coleman as well there in that beautiful Dead on Tools number 11 ride here this evening. Wyatt Mickelson out there as well. There's Wyatt in that beautiful Interstate Batteries Toyota is the 61 ride here this evening. He'll look to try to get some good laps in, try to get a little bit warmed up. Same with that Sky Soldier. Ridge Power Sports KR Gutters number 87 machine as Mr. John Herbert ready to battle here in this one as well. Eric Hardy, what's good? Eric in the chat as well says let's go 97, says podium baby. It's podium here tonight, potentially for that number 97 ride. I think there's a lot of drivers though that are going to be hoping to try to beat him and try to put themselves onto the podium tonight, man. This is going to be a fun race, going to be a lot of great action. I think this is going to be a lot of green flag laps now that we've kind of went more from Daytona where it's tight pack racing. Now we are going to see these drivers for the most part stacked on top of each other. They'll be door to door. There'll be a lot of passes. There'll be a lot of tough battles in the opening laps. Probably about the first, 5, maybe 10 laps of this race. It's going to be fairly chaotic, and on every restart that we have, it'll be a lot like that. It'll be everyone just right on top of each other, trying to take all the speed and take advantage of these restarts to try to move forward. But when it comes to the strategy, when it comes to the tire wear, the fuel savings, all that other stuff, we're going to really start to see after that 10, maybe 15 laps, the field start to get a little bit more spread out, start to get a little bit more single file, and then we'll see some isolated, 2 wide, maybe 3 wide fights out there on the speedway. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be some great racing, some great action here this evening from the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway. So for the Duck Donuts 172 here this evening, man, things are going to get very, very interesting. Things are going to get very fun in a quick race. You do see Ashley Ellison Jr. going around right there. Hopefully we don't see too many spills like that throughout this feature event, but definitely could be the possibility of a few big wrecks, a few tore up race cars out there on the racetrack, as here comes that Dead on Tools 11 ride. Then straight down into that inside fence right here is this warm-up session quickly coming to a close. So the warm-up session coming to an end here in just a little bit. So for these drivers, they're getting their last few laps in here, the last few moments of a little bit of a warm-up here. We only saw about 7 drivers or so really jump out there, lay lap times down. Everyone else kind of just, roll down pit side or having some fun down pit road here. You see the 42 rider Kevin Winker. He's already celebrating here. He's on the Roval aspect of the track here, and he's just down here having some fun here. I don't know what K-Dub's doing, but nonetheless, he's enjoying himself down here and doing some burnouts, maybe getting some practice in. Is that Is that maybe a little bit of fruition here? Maybe a little bit of premonition out of the 42 right at Kevin Winker that maybe he's going to need to be tested and tuned up here on his victory burnouts for later this evening. He qualified in that pole position, so maybe he can get it done here in this feature event as well. As this is going to be fun, man. This is going to be a great race. I always love Charlotte, man. Such a beautiful racetrack, such a beautiful facility. And when we come here, the racing action is always absolutely insane. And we're going to get ready for some more of that insane racing in just a few more moments as drivers will get loaded into the sim. Each and every one of them will be looking for the win. As John Bernard Sr. says, "Let's go, boys. Let's go, John. Let's get it, baby." As these drivers, they get ready to duke it out. They get ready to go to battle. As starting on the pole will be the number 42 of Kevin Winker. He hasn't loaded into the sim as of yet, but K-Dub will start in position number 1. To his outside is the QH Designs number 54, David Traylor Jr. The Majula Say Speed Shop 318, that is Matthew Catania, who will start there in position number 3. To his outside, the Goldberg 92, that is Clinton Woodby. You do see our pole sitter, K-Dub, right there. That is that Muleburger Custom Homes Winker Nation number 42, who will start in that pole position here this evening. Is back in 5th. It's Merrick Watchorn. Watchorn will start in 5th. To his outside, beautiful looking new ride here, man. I love the white on black here, man. That's looking absolutely nice, or I guess it's black on white, whatever it may be. It's looking fresh, it's looking good in the QH Designs number 97 ride. We'll get ready to roll from position number 6 here this evening. Starting back in position number 7, it is the C4, number 51, right of Tyler Stevenson. To his outside, the QH Designs Johnny Johnson Motorsports 00 of Nate Cogdell. Starting in position number 9 in the 01 machine, that is Rooster Rodden, who will start in position number 9. And rounding out our top 10, it is that Ultra machine, the number 12, Michael Newman, rounding out our top 10. Harold Rothery, Nick Gardner. The 196 of Caleb Kleiner there in 13th. Ash Ellison Jr. there to his outside in 14th. The 20 rider, Justin Lawson, Brandon Coleman, Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr., Keith Prince, Ryan Haller, Wyatt Mickelson, John Herbert, Jesse Calloway, Bruce Bernard, Skylar Berry, Nathan Somerville, Paul, the old man, Durkee, and Rick LePage bringing up the rear of the field as 27 drivers get ready to duke it out here this evening as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's Kevin Winker in the 54, David Traylor Jr., who will battle door to door, down through 1 and out of 2. Winker looking to try to take this race lead, trying to keep these guys back there behind him. We know Winker always likes to play a lot of these strategy games. He likes to try to play that fuel mileage, maybe some of the tire strategy, but now qualifying on the pole position here this evening is look out, a couple drivers find the fence here. No caution flag. We keep it clean and green. Nate Cogdell and the 12 right of Michael Newman both slide up into the outside fence on corner exit. Luckily enough, both drivers able to keep pointing the right direction as we do see John Herbert making his way down pit side. And unfortunately for the 31 ride, sliding backwards here as well. Paul Durkee back into the 25th position. We'll see if he can try to work his way up towards the front. But like we were saying, for this number 42 at Kevin Winker, battling here at the front of the field is normally something we see towards the end of the race, not normally something we see at the start of the race. So for the 42 ride here at Kevin Winker, he's really in a different area than what we normally see him, or what we're used to seeing this 42. Most of the time we like to see him, we don't like to see him, but we tend to see him a little bit deeper in the field, playing that strategy game, trying to save the tires, trying to save the fuel, trying to put himself into a different position than what he is right now early in this race, trying to get it all back towards the end of the race, and whether or not it's trying to win the stage or potentially trying to, run a fuel mileage game plan that could work into his favor to get another good run. But here tonight, qualifying in that pole position, he's looking strong. He's led a lap or two. We do see that 54 David Traylor Jr. able to get in front of him, but for the 42 ride, Kevin Winker holding steady here in second. He's got that 318. Matthew Catania, the 92. Ryan Clinton Woodby right there with him. Merrick Watchorn rounding out our top 5 still here on the Speedway as some of the hard chargers early on. This 196 rider, Caleb Gleinard. Gleinard up and into the 8th position, already up 5 spots early in this race. But we're going to continue to see drivers moving forwards, a lot of drivers moving backwards, and if we have to hit pit road here for green flag pit stops, it could definitely make things that much more crazy here this evening. As David Traylor Jr. will lead lap number 5 here this evening as Mark Jackie Miller says, "Let's go Prince," cheering on that number 3 machine of Keith Prince out on the Speedway. Mrs. Holler says, "Go Mickelson," and Holler cheering on Ryan and Mr. Wyatt here this evening as we see a lot of those drivers right back here. 17th for Keith Prince in that beautiful Sherman Williams number 3 machine. So Prince back there in 17th. He's got the 61 rider Wyatt Mickelson right there on his back bumper. Jimmy Fitzmaurice 1 spot back here, and a little farther you do see the 88 rider Ryan Haller. He's battling door to door here with that beautiful Ghost Energy Sonic Graphic Designs number 46 ride of Skylar Berry. So Berry and that Menards number 88, Ryan Haller duking it out door to door here. About the 20th, 21st position right now. You see Jesse Galloway. He's trying to poke his nose into that battle. Here comes Nathan Somerville and Paul Durkee. They want to join the fun as well, as early on, unfortunately, having to come down pit road. And I do believe potentially serving a penalty from last week is this 87 ride of John Herbert. And for Herbert having to make that early pit stop coming down pit road, he has now gone a lap down here. He's going to need a lucky dog, a free pass here to get himself back into the action, back on the lead lap, and back into the fun here this evening. But for right now, he rolls back in 27th, and that is not a super fun place to be. Is out in front? It's a lot more fun if you're up here battling for the win, as the 54 ride of David Traylor Jr. continues to lead the way. Kane Dub trying to reel him back in here. Gets to his back bumper. Takes a peek to the outside. Trailer, though, down low. Able to keep his foot in the throttle. Hugs that white and blue line down through number 3 and 4 and takes us back down across the finish line. But a great run out of core number 4 here for Kevin Winker. K-Dub once again getting a run to the outside here. Can he find the speed momentum that he may need to take this race lead back away? He's going to get a good run down the backstretch to see where he takes it. Looks like he's going to look down to the inside. Does he make the move? Here he comes. Here comes Winker Nation as the 42 looking to try to jump back to the point here this evening as they start to battle a little bit more door to door here. They're starting to make some more moves. That 318 of Matthew Catania poking his nose right into the fun, and that's bringing along the rest of our top 7 here this evening, as right there is Clinton Woodby, Merrick Watchor, Tyler Stevenson, and Colton Hardy all right there ready to bounce here in this one, ready to pounce, ready to make some moves, and ready to try to work themselves up towards the front, as all 7 of these drivers, they know at the completion of lap number 30 will be the end of our first stage of the day, and they want to try to earn those stage points. They want to give themselves that extra little bit of a boost into the regular season point standings, try to earn that stage win. You get the extra bonus point going into the playoffs as well. So the stage point, man, is a massive one, and if you can start banking them up now, could really help yourself out throughout the season, and then obviously throughout the playoffs, and trying to make it to our championship race. A bit of a gap back, though, about 1.3 seconds. You do see that beautiful Majula State Speed Shop number 196 of Caleb Kleinert, as Kleinert rolls there in that 8th position. Harold Rothery and Nick Gardner rounding out our top 10 here in this one, as Aaron Peacock in the chat says, "Let's go KP3," cheering on Keith Prince here this evening. What is good? A run from one Aaron to another Aaron. Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. As Gristo in the chat says, shout out number 3. Let's do this, man. A lot of those number 3 fans in the stands here this evening. Is that Sherwin Williams number 3 machine. Keith Prince rolling right there in that 17th position. He hasn't really fallen backwards, really hasn't moved too far forward either, but this could be a lot of the game plan. A lot of drivers drivers like to take it a little bit easier, try to stay off the throttle, try to keep on rolling a little deeper in the back early on in these races, trying to save a little tire, trying to put themselves into a better position for later in the run. And we still got a lot of laps left to go here in stage number 1. We just completed lap number 14 as David Traylor Jr. continues to lead the way, as David Traylor himself, David Traylor Sr. in the chat says, Traylor for the win. He says, Traylor for the win, cheered on that beautiful 54 ride here this evening as the Johnny Johnson Motorsports QH Designs Metal Edge Truck Series number 54 continues to lead the way. You do see that Matthew Catania has worked his way up and into second, and Merrick Watchorn now into third as K-Dub Kevin Winker slides back into position number 4. He'll continue to look for more, but ladies and gentlemen, for any of the Winker Nation fans in the stands, make sure you guys jump into the comment section right now. Let's get some hashtag Winker Nations going right now in the comment section. I think that's what K-Dub really needs right now to give himself that extra little bit of a boost, that extra little bit of a give it, you know, a little bit more throttle potentially to work his way up towards the front of the field. As here we go, looking for a battle for the front. Here we go. It is the 318 of Matthew Catania. Catania trying to put this Majula State Speed Shop NOS Energy number 318 right to the point here. David Traylor Jr. going to look to try to hold him back there at bay. It's a tight battle here at the front of the field as the 54 and David Traylor up on the high side. Catania down low. Now it's all about where your truck is going to handle the best, where you can get the runs, and for right now it is a tight battle door to door. Drag race back to the line, and it's David Traylor Jr. who will lead another lap here this evening. I don't know how long he's going to be able to hold them off, though, man. That outside lane, once you start to find that groove, once the tires really start to work in, that middle to outside lane can really show a ton of speed here. So this could be a very, very tough pass for that 318. And here we go, down the back straightaway, able to take that run. The 54 ride of David Traylor Jr. able to slide down in front of that 318 machine. But you see the 91 ride, Merrick Watchorn, he basically followed right in the tire tracks of that 54. Knew that this was going to be a game plan. This was going to be a spot to go, and here it is. Here comes that Twiggy ride trying to work his way up and into that second position. So Merrick now into second. Does he have something left in the tank here for the 54 David Traylor Jr.? Here he comes down to the inside. Big run brewing for that number 91 ride, but out at quarter number 4, looking to carry that speed, looking to carry that momentum. A drag race again, back down across the line. David Traylor Jr. will lead lap 19 here this evening, but this is another hard charge, another good battle. Can he hold off Merrick Watchorn, or can Watchorn right here maybe slide up and clear him? It's tight, unfortunately, can't quite pull up in front of the 54, and that'll give David another chance to the outside to work his way to stay out in front. So door to door again, down and out of corner number 4, give the advantage potentially to the 91 ride right now, but down across the line, able to use that outside momentum. The 54, David Traylor Jr. stays out in front, but it really seems like the 91 ride here through the middle of 1 and 2 right here. He's clear. Does he slide up in front of him? There he goes. So the 91, Merrick Watchorn, jumps up, jumps in front of the 54 ride. David Traylor Jr. is going to get tucked in line behind him here. Going to stay on his back bumper, but gets a little tight right there. Pushes up the racetrack. Had to roll into the throttle. That will give the race lead to the 91, and he will look to try to run away with only 9 laps left to go here in this stage. David Traylor Jr. now trying to hold on to second as Catania trying to hold off this 51 rider Tyler Stevenson. Stevenson trying to work his way around that 318 machine as K-Dub Kevin Winker back into position number 5. Clinton would be there in 6. Colton Hardy still sitting in 7th with Caleb Kleiner back in 8th. Nick Gardner there in 9th, and Ashley Ellison Jr. and the Cheetos number 133 rounding out our top 10. Rooster Rodden there in 11th with Wyatt Mickelson. Right now our hard charger out there on the racetrack up 7 positions on the speedway. Sits in that 12th spot here in this one. Harold Rothery there behind him in 13th with Nate Cogdell in just Austin Lawson rounding out our top 15 here this evening. So for the number 20 ride, new paint scheme here for the 20 machine. Let's take a look here at it. Is it the Masked Owl? Okay, new paint scheme, new ride. Let's take a look at it here. We love watching these new rides. So the Detroit Quality Staffing number 20 machine here this evening. Do we get another look at it? There it is, the Masked Owl Technologies number 20 ride here this evening. Looking fresh, looking furious, and looking pretty out there on the speedway as he right now rolls back in about that 16th position as we just watched the 3 ride of Keith Prince jump up and steal position number 15 away from him. Skylar Berry now will get around that 20 ride of Lawson as well. Lawson slides back to 17th as here comes Nathan Somerville, Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr., and Paul Durkee. Durkee back here a little farther back is that Get Grumpy here. That Get Grumpy ride a little farther back as the Goat Brewing Company, number 31, back there in that 20th position. Rick LePage there in 21st with Jesse Calloway in position number 22. Brandon Coleman finds himself back here in that Dead on Tools ride in 23rd with Michael Newman. Bruce Bernard, Ryan Haller in the 87 of John Herbert, rounding out our 27 car field here in this one. But out in front, it's all Merrick Watchorn with only 5 more laps left to go here in this stage. So 5 laps left here in stage number 1 here this evening, and it's the Twiggy number 91 ride of Merrick Watchorn out in front as Eric Hardy says, let's get all our QH design trucks up front. Boogity, boogity, boogity says. Anna, what's good? Anna Alessandro in the chat says, what's up, Peacemaker? What's up, Anna? How are you? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day. Kayla Lawson says, let's go. Lawson, cheered on Lawson here this evening as Mark Jackie Miller says, great racing tonight, boys. Yeah, great racing, great battles, man. This is one of the reasons why I always love to come to Charlotte Motor Speedway, man. It always just produces such good racing action. You can battle door to door. You can almost battle 3 wide anywhere out there on the racetrack. Corner exit tends to get a little bit tricky 3 wide, but 2 wide, it is A-OK, and that just produces such good, absolute amazing racing action, man. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this racing action here this evening. And if you guys have been enjoying this racing action, make sure you guys do us a favor right now. It's absolutely free to do. Helps us out a ton. Hit the like button on the stream right now for us. Hit the thumbs up button for us on the broadcast. Drop a couple comments. Let us know who you're cheering for, who you want to see up in victory lane, and let us know, maybe how your day was. How was your day, ladies and gentlemen? We want to know how you guys are doing as well. Not only as much as we want to see these guys battle out there on the racetrack. As Merrick Watchorn will lead another lap. It's only 2 laps left to go here in this stage. As David Traylor Jr. back there in second. Catania sticks in third. It's the 51 of Tyler Stevenson back there in fourth. It's K-Dub in the Winker Nation, number 42 ride, able to hold on right now to that 5th position. I do believe that will be the last point given out here, the last spot here in this first stage for any of the point positions. So for K-Dub, he's sitting pretty, he's feeling fine, he's feeling A-OK, rolling here in 5th. If he can jump up and maybe gain a couple more spots here on the final lap, he would like that, but beggars can't be choosers. He's just happy to be up here battling, holding on, and putting on a great show for us here this evening as Merrick Watchorn down through corner number 3. Nice and easy down and out of corner number 4. It's the 91 ride who will win stage number 1 here this evening in the Duck Donuts 172 here this evening. The Duck Donuts 172 here today. The first stage going to the 91 of Merrick Watchorn as Watchorn picks up the stage win here in this one. David Traylor Jr. will come home in second with Tyler Stevenson, Matthew Catania, and Kevin Winker rounding out our top 5. Clinton Woodby, Caleb Kleinert, Colton Hardy, Nick Gardner, and Ashley Ellison Jr. will round out our top 10 here in the first stage this evening. Now, it starts to get into that big picture area. You gotta wonder how the rest of this race is gonna play out. Will we stay clean and green like we just were for that first 30 laps of this race, or will we see a couple of caution flags? You never quite know, so it's gonna make sure that you got to be on top of your game. You got to have that strategy, and you got to take, a little bit of roll the die every once in a while. Take that gamble, take that strategy, and kind of flip it upside down to give yourself a position. So we could see a lot of drivers here making some weird moves down pit road. I'm sure we're going to see everyone come down pit side and get fuel. I don't think anyone is going to pass up this opportunity to get a full tank of fuel, but we could see some drivers electing to maybe go for the 2-tire pit stop, maybe trying to get some of that track position by putting no tires on, or just trying to save an extra set for later in this race. Having that extra set back there behind pit wall for some late race caution flags could be the make or break position here in this feature event. So we'll have to wait and see how these drivers will play it out, as Merrick Watchorn, our Stage 1 winner, will lead us down pit side first here this evening. So he'll be the first one to hit pit road and look to make his first pit stop of the day. Unfortunately, we did see one driver already down pit side earlier this evening, having to serve a penalty there on the opening laps here, the 87 ride of John Herbert. Unfortunately, John had to serve that penalty, did go a lap down, but you saw it right there. He's able to get the wave around. He's able to get a lap back here. Now, I don't know if he fell 2 laps down or if he is still only 1 lap down. I do believe he may have fallen 2 laps down here, so we'll have to keep a close eye on John Herbert and see if he can get back into the action. Here we go. Drivers rolling back down and out of pit road, and we're looking for big jumpers, and being one of the big jumpers here, a fan favorite here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your driver as Keith Prince comes out of the pits in position number 1. So Keith Prince with a bit of a strategy call here, or maybe just a really good pit stop. Keith comes out of the pits in the top spot here this evening. Let's see if we can get a good look here and see potentially where he might have been down pit road and where this may have helped him out. Take another look at it here. So let's take a look back. Where is this 3-ride of Keith Prince? So he's already done his pit stop here. So yeah, as everyone else comes down pit road, he's down there, he's getting fuel. No tires going on to this car, and he's going to get set loose. So a no-tire pit stop right there. Big strategy call out of that 3 machine, and it'll give him that top position. So that could really mix things up here this evening for this restart, because this is going to be a lot of fun, man. Seeing this 3-ride, old tires out in front. How long can he hold on to it? How long and how good will this strategy be for that number 3 machine? As we're about to find out, as we'll get him stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. As Aaron says, like a cheetah, baby, like a cheetah. Holy Bible Racing, what's good, Holy Bible? How are you? Says best broadcaster. Doing good as usual, Peacemaker. I love to hear that, Holy Bible. Love to hear that. Holy Bible Racing coming in, showing the love here in this one, man. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit the like button on the stream right now. Hit that thumbs up button for us, and hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today, as we get ready to set these drivers back loose, as we get ready to go back to battle here this evening. From Charlotte Motor Speedway, it's Keith Prince and David Traylor Jr. on the front row. Everyone pretty much back here behind this 3-ride has 4 fresh tires. For the 3 machine, he's on older tires, so you should be expecting and should see this Sherwin-Williams number 3 ride start to slide backwards here. The JJM machine is unfortunately going to be on the backslide, I think, here. The tire wear is going to be probably almost too much to hold on to, but for that Johnny Johnson Motorsports ride, we'll have to wait and see what he can do. Maybe lead a few more laps here under green before these drivers can take advantage of him. It's down through the Echo Park restart zone. Here we go, back to green flag racing. A good launch, good restart right there for that 3 machine. He's got the 91 all over his back bumper. Unfortunately, no matter how good that opening was, no matter how good that jump was, the fresh tires down through corner number 1 and 2 are going to work against him here, and you can already see that truck starting to fall backwards. So this will give you a great look for potentially later in this race and a little later in the evening if someone else makes this call, makes this strategy, or we kind of compare, a couple different tire strategies, what these tires really do. This is fresh tires all around this number 3 ride. He's on the older tires, and you can see how much he's giving up right now. now and how much he has fallen back behind the rest of these drivers, but there may be a silver lining to it if he can catch a couple caution flags, as that caution will lead to another caution. The yellow flag back out, and we do see the 24 of Rick LePage. Heavy damage here for Mr. LePage. So the 6 Sigma number 24 ride obviously running into some issues here. 24 heavy damage, so we're gonna have to take a look back and see what happens here to Rick LePage to bring the caution flag back out, as it looked like Ryan Haller potentially getting caught up in this as well. But we do see Rick LePage here. Let's take a look at it. So these guys are a little deeper in the field towards the back of the pack, and you're going to watch the 24 right here. Okay, there it is. Bounces it, hard contact up and into the outside fence, down into corner number 1 here. Unfortunately, as he bounces it off the wall, he shoots down the racetrack here right into the lap of that number 88 ride, man. Nowhere to go for Ryan Haller. Chat, if you're cheering on Haller here tonight, man, it is again another wrong place, wrong time for that 88 machine. Here we go, we're going to watch it right there. Bam, right into the fence, down the track, and into the lap of that 88 ride. And then as we watch the 24, a couple more drivers are going to get collected into this one. Man, that was a couple big hits right here, as that is the 12 ride of Michael Newman. Newman just can't quite get through there. I'm not sure who the other driver was. Here we go. It's the 17 of Bruce Bernard in that JMB lawn care ride. Also gets into the 24 of Rick LePage. Man, those were some big, big hits right there, man. That is a couple hard shots for those drivers. And we watched the 88 rider, Ryan Haller. At least for Haller, didn't end up too bad here for that 88 machine. Now, he does get contact here. Obviously, does get a little bit of damage right there, but not a ton. You're going to see him come back up the racetrack here. Luckily enough, no one drives into the side of him, but that does lead those other 2 drivers up the speedway here, because they see this 88 coming up. They know that this 88 truck is probably sliding up the racetrack. They're probably thinking, I can't go low because the 88 ride's there, hoping maybe the 24 ride doesn't go all the way up in time, and unfortunately, they both just wrong place, wrong time as well, trying to get to the outside, hoping that both drivers stay down on the apron. Unfortunately, both drivers come up the track, and they both run into the one. So unfortunately now for Rick LePage, he's going to have to use that quick repair up, and this is only quick repair here this evening. Does not have another one in his back pocket, but for the 12 ride of Michael Newman obviously having to use a quick repair up as well, but more tough breaks here for this 12 ride is that down pit side, he got a pit road speeding penalty. So a pit road speeding penalty here for that number 12 machine, and that means he will have to make an unfortunate green flag pit stop here. That may be a green flag pass through penalty. It may be a green flag stop and go penalty as well, where he may get held down pit road for 30 seconds. And the black flags here in iRacing, they do not play around, and you do not want to get them, especially at a track that, you know, a 30-second hold is virtually a single lap out there on the racetrack, and that could put you behind the ball in a quick hurry, as we do see a couple drivers giving up track position to come down pit road. We see Kevin Winker, Colton Hardy. Here comes Keith Prince. Prince is down pit side as well. Now, does Prince put tires on, or is he just topping up on fuel? It looks like he's just topping up on fuel here, but for Kevin Winker, Colton Hardy, and Keith Prince all coming down pit side here on lap number 38, giving themselves that extra little bit of fuel, that extra little bit here that could be a difference maker when it comes to the pit strategy or potentially the fuel strategy late in this race. As we get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. The 91 rider David Traylor Jr. will get ready to see that green flag fly as the Duck Donuts caution flag here in the Duck Donuts 172 here this evening is about to come to a close. David Traylor Jr., Merrick Watchorn, Matthew Catania, Tyler Stevenson, Caleb Kleinert are top 5 out there on the speedway ready to see this green flag fly once again here this evening from Charlotte Motor Speedway. The pink truck will make that hard left-hand turn back down pit road. And here we go, getting ready to go back. The green flag racing is down through the Echo Park restart zone. It is David Traylor Jr. who will see that green flag fly. So David gets a launch, gets a good jump here. He's trying to clear the 91 right. He's able to do so down through the middle of corner number 1 and 2. So he has this top spot. Now it's Merrick Watchorn who will look to try to get back around him here once again here in this race. David Traylor Jr. led a bunch of laps early on, but unfortunately late in stage number 1 we saw this 91 come on strong, make his way around not only the 318 of Matthew Catania, but also get around this 54 right of David Traylor Jr. to steal that stage win. So for Merrick Watchorn, he's been fast, he's been quick all evening long. He won stage number 1. Can he get the job done and put himself up into victory lane here this evening? Tyler Stevenson right there as well in that third position as Catania falls back into position number 4. Caleb Kleiner right there in 5th with Nick Gardner, Clinton Woodby. Here comes that 101, Aroosta Rodden, Ashley Ellison Jr. in that number 133 ride rolls there in 9th, and we do see Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson battling door to door here with Jesse Calloway for the 10th spot on the speedway. The 20th, Justin Lawson, just outside the top 20 looking in. Same with Nathan Somerville. As Somerville from the back of the pack here, he slowly but surely worked his way now up towards the top 10, rolling up 12 positions from where he started. The driver right behind him here, that Goat Brewing ride, the 31 machine of Paul Durkee. Durkee started 12 spots back as well, started back in the 26th position. Now finds himself here in that 14th spot, so maybe him and Nathan Somerville working together to slowly but surely navigate their way up towards the front of the field. As here comes the Dead Tools number 11 ride of Brandon Coleman, Nate Cogdell right there in his QH Designs, Johnny Johnson right there in that 15th position. The 2 of Harold Rothery, the 88 of Ryan Haller back there in the 18th position. John Herbert there on his back bumper. Skylar Berry, Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr., Colton Hardy, our top 22, with Michael Newman, Keith Prince, Kevin Winker, our top 25 out here on the speedway. Rick LePage there in 26, and it's Bruce Bernard rounding out our field here as everybody is on the lead lap. Everyone is in the battle here in this one. But you look back here at Kevin Winker, K-Dub, making that decisive decision. He was battling up there inside the top 5, top 10 here throughout that entire first stage. But here in the start of this final stage, the number 42 rider likes to go for some fuel, gives up that track position. Now he's going to have the back of the pack. And I think for this number 42 truck, he's again into this fuel-saving mindset here, that the progress of just trying to keep yourself in it through pit side, and sometimes it works out for him, sometimes it doesn't quite work out. So we'll have to wait and see how this strategy may fare for that 42 of Kevin Winker here this evening. But at least this time, looks like there's a few drivers that are kind of on the same game plan here, that are on a little bit of the same strategy of trying to make it a little bit farther than our race leaders, trying to have a little bit better tire later in the race potentially, or trying to make it on maybe one less pit stop. As of right now, though, you do see Merrick Watchorn battling his way back to the point here as he looks underneath that 54 of David Traylor Jr. Once again, these two duking it out for this top position, and it looks like it's not going to take too long for the 91 to make the pass this time, as he does slide up in front of the 91. No, can't quite clear him, so he's going to have to stay down low. The 54, David Traylor Jr., once again will try to roll that outside lane and keep the 91 right back there at bay, but I don't think he's going to have quite the run that he needed to do it again here this evening. As there we go, it is the 91 of Merrick Watchorn taking the race lead back away. So our stage 1 winner back out in front. But look at Tyler Stevenson, man. Tyler Stevenson poking his nose right into the battle here, has now worked his way up and into second. His 51 ride has been lurking back here pretty much all evening long, man. He's been slowly but surely navigating his way up inside the top 5, got around Winker, put himself up into 4th. He was battling there with that 318 just before the stage break for that 3rd position in the stage, but here he is battling up here here for that race lead. Unfortunately, gets a little loose down and out of corner number 4. Slides up the racetrack and now allows David Traylor Jr. to get another good run to his inside. And this may be what Merrick Watchorn really needs down the back straightaway to try to open up a bit of a lead, a bit of a opening here, and maybe just a little bit better of a strategy here for that 91 ride. Is obviously strategy now really going to play a major factor, I think, in this race. For a lot of these drivers, you may be racing hard, you may be racing with everything you got, keeping your foot in that throttle, but what is the price you pay? You start to burn these tires up a little too quickly, you put yourself into a position where you got to come down pit road sooner than everybody else. Could make things very, very tough by the end of this race. I do believe we're going to see everybody probably down pit road somewhere around lap number 60 to somewhere around probably lap number 70. Somewhere in that area, I think, is when we're going to see a lot of these drivers navigate and migrate their way down pit road for their first wave of green flag pit stops. Now, with that being said, green flag pit stops, we can see a lot of issues. We can see older tires, still out there on the racetrack having an issue. You go a lap down, so you get trapped a lap down here. Could put you into a really, really bad spot. Could kill all of your game plan here this evening, especially if you got to take a wave around or hope to get a lucky dog. So I think for a lot of these drivers, you got to be very, very cautious about when you come down pit road. You don't really necessarily want to be the first one, but you don't want to be the last one to come down pit side. You kind of want to find that middle ground or try to find a good group of guys to come down with you and try not to mess up a whole bunch of your strategy throughout this race, knowing that if you were to come down pit road first, you got the newer tires, you're sitting pretty, but if everyone else stays out there for 5, 6, 7 laps, all of a sudden, at the end of that run, you're going to be falling backwards like a rock while they're going to be moving up and around you, and potentially on a different fuel strategy could put them into a better position later in the race. Or you come down pit road too early, they run that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 laps, or whatever it may be. After you come down pit side, our race leaders could stay out for quite a bit longer. Caution flag were to fly, could trap you a lap, 2 laps, 3 laps down if you run into any issues. So you got to be very, very cautious about pit road. And I think for a lot of these drivers, the way it's looking, even the ones that came back down pit side there on lap number 38, lap 37, they're going to be in a tough spot, man. I don't know how they're going to be able to make it to the end of this race on 2 more stops. I think it's got to be at least 2 more pit stops for everybody. If they come down pit road on lap number 60, they're probably more than likely going to have to come back down pit road somewhere around lap number 90 as well. So we should see 2 green flag pit stops, 2 waves of green flag pit stops at the minimum, as we did see one driver run into an issue here. The 0-0 rider, Nate Cogdell. Cogdell unfortunately run into a problem here. Let's take a look at the 0-0 ride. Let's take a look back here as he's battling hard with Lawson and the 31 of Durkee, and he's got Somerville. Oh, Somerville all over his back bumper as he comes out of corner number 2 right here. So for the 0-0 ride, not a whole lot he could do. So let's take a look here. So he's kind of pushing up the track here. Obviously, the 20 rides right there to his outside. He's kind of pushing up. He's got to roll out of the throttle here a little bit. And for the 28 ride at Somerville, he's not expecting it. He wants to see the 0-0 continue on, or maybe he's just trying to get to the outside of him. Unfortunately, just misjudges the run that he was going to have. Kind of ran into that, right rear back bumper area, and it kind of just hooks him, gets him loose, and all of a sudden shoots him down this racetrack. And for the 0-0 ride, it's a pretty solid contact right there into the inside fence, and he's going to get into it again there as well. So a couple good licks for that 0-0 machine. No caution flags. We keep it clean and green, and that is a tough break there for that QH Designs ride, as that could put him into a very difficult position late in this race, man. If he's got to make an earlier pit stop or an additional pit stop, or if he's got to stay down there for an extended period of time trying to get some of this damage repaired, that could really put him, an additional lap down, could really put him off cycle to everyone else's pit stops, and that could really hurt his chances here later in this race. But for Merrick Watchorn out in front. He's feeling A-okay here. He's got this race lead and looking to continue to keep all these drivers back there behind him, because it's now Matthew Katana Catania in position number 2. David Traylor Jr. right there in 3rd. Caleb Kleinert up and into 4th with Tyler Stevenson falling back now into that 5th position. Clinton Woodby, Rooster Rod, and Nick Gardner, Ashley Ellison Jr., and Wyatt Mickelson rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack. Jesse Calloway in position number 11 with Paul Durkee, Nathan Somerville, Justin Lawson, and Harold Rothery, our top 15. Ryan Haller up and into the 16th position now with Brandon Coleman, John Herbert, Michael Newman, and Colton Hardy rounding out our top 20. Kevin Winker back in position number 21 with Keith Prince there in 22nd. Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr., Bruce Bernard, Rick LePage, Nate Cogdell, and the number 46 is Skylar Berry bringing up the rear of the field here in this one. So a lot of great, tough racing here, man, and these drivers continue to put on an absolutely amazing show for us. As the tire fall-off continues to pick up here, we inch closer and closer to starting to see some of these green flag pit stops, and this may have been a saving grace as there's the caution flag. Our 3rd caution of the evening, and it looks like Rooster Rodden going to run into some issues. See him slow down here through 3 and 4, so let's take a look back at it here. Let's take a look, see what happens. Oh, okay, well, he's almost airborne, as it looks like just contact here between him and this 27 ride of Nick Gardner. So Gardner takes a peek down to the inside. They just get tight together. Man, oh, that was a close one there for Rooster Ron. Like, here he comes, slides back up the racetrack here. All these drivers coming around him. They quickly throw that caution flag. Luckily enough, looks like everyone is able to avoid him, get either up or down out of the way, and luckily enough, no additional damage or contact here for that 0-0 machine. Let's take a look here and see kind of the contact or what may have happened between these two, because they're battling tight, and the 27 gets a good run, and I think it may be a little bit more of the same. Maybe he just jumps to the outside and trying to side draft ever too much, and it looks like he just kind of hooks him right there. Spins that 0-1 machine around, and this is not a fun ride if you're that 0-0 machine, because things happen quickly, and unfortunately, most of the time, nothing you can really do except for hang on and hope for the best. As here we go. Riding on board with Rooster. There's the contact. Around he goes. Pretty good rear end damage right there, but man, that could have been a whole lot worse, and a quick hurry for a lot of drivers here, and unfortunately, that turns him around, puts him into the fence. He'll look to get that truck repaired and back out onto the racetrack. As out in front, staying out in front here, not coming down pit road. Okay, this is an interesting strategy. So Colton Hardy, Kevin Winker, Keith Prince all elect to stay out right here. They do not come down pit road. They elect to stay out, but we do see Merrick Watchorn, Matthew Catania, and pretty much everybody else in the field make their way down pit side. Now, it does look like at least everyone here inside this top 5 are getting tires. Let's take a look a little farther back at some of these other cats. Looks like a lot of them are getting tires here as well. Let's take a look at the 27 ride. Looks like the 27 truck, yeah, he gets jacked up as well. So doesn't the 2. And all right, so more strategy coming out for these drivers. A lot of different strategy. This is going to make things very fun, very interesting here, as now we will have 3 drivers here at the front of the field on older tires. Not a ton of fuel, so these rear ends of these trucks can get very light when the fuel starts to run a little low. So for Kevin Winker, Colton Hardy, Keith Prince, they're going to have to look for a big restart. No tire spin, no problems, and then obviously they're going to have to run, you know, if they want to get an advantage here, you know, 6, 7, 10 laps or so before they're forced to come down pit road, having to make their green flag pit stop here. And if they have to make that green flag pit stop while everybody else doesn't, that could really put them into a bit of a bind here throughout this final run. So I think really for the 42, the 97, and the 3 machine, they need to run that, you know, 5, 6, maybe 8 laps, 10 laps, as long as they can go here before they need the fuel, before they come down pit road. They got to hope for a caution flag. So they'll be hoping for a yellow. They'll be hoping to get back into the battle here. And obviously, if they can catch a timely caution flag where they can kind of catch everybody a little bit off sequence when it comes to these tires, could really work into their favor. Is down the back straightaway here for another Duck Donuts caution flag break here. We're going to quickly get a word in from our sponsors over at Duck Donuts. Alrighty, shout out there to Duck Donuts, man, coming in with our series sponsor and race sponsor here this evening. Huge shout out there to Duck Donuts here in the Duck Donuts 172 as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. It is the 97 ride who will lead us down into the Echo Park restart zone as Colton Hardy with a great launch. Good restart right there. Able to get the launch that he was looking for. He's hoping to try to keep at least some of these fresh tires back there behind him, back at bay, and trying to help his cause out here a little bit. We know the 3 ride has already been here. He's already seen what the new tires, the old tires can do, and there is the caution. Look out, the 191. Now they're going to continue to wreck down the back straightaway. Oh, it's Ryan Hall. It is Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr. The 87 of John Herbert's tied up into it as well. There goes the 46 ride of Skylar Berry as Caleb Kleiner. Some big hits here for that 196 ride. As again, it was the older tires that kind of got things started here in this one. As Diane says, go Callaway! Cheered on Callaway here this evening. Okay, so let's take a look here. So on the restart, good launch here for a bunch of these other cats. But you look at the 3 ride right here. Keith Prince, he's on the older tires. Can't quite hug that bottom like he wants to. And it's the 318 of Matthew Catania who jumps down almost onto the apron here to get underneath of him. And I think when he does that, that just gets this 3 ride completely bent out of shape. And now you're going to see the 196 of Caleb Clark. He thinks the 3 ride, he's about to go around. It's about to cause a wreck here. And unfortunately, it doesn't, and as he tries to rejoin the field, I do believe that's his C4 teammate here, is going to end up poking him right there. So doesn't give him the room as he tries to get back out onto the racetrack here. See if we can get another look at it here in this one. So here's the 196. He's going to watch that 3 ride right here. He sees the contact. He's got a front row seat at it. So he sees this 3 ride going around. He thinks this 3 machine is spinning sideways in front of his lap. He jumps down low to avoid it. Unfortunately, 3 ride keeps going, but for him, as he tries to rejoin the racing surface right here, the contact between him and his teammate in that number 51 ride shoots him up the racetrack. Hard contact up and into that outside fence, and then you're going to watch everyone try to avoid him. Keith Prince gets a little contact into it. Ryan Haller's trying to get checked up to avoid it, and Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr. just does not check up quick enough here. Obviously, a little deeper in the field, a little harder time seeing a spun car here. So for that number 33 ride at Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr., let's see if we can get a look here at him. So he's going to have a tough look at it. I think he's going to react a little too late. So here we go. Now all of a sudden, he's on the throttle and everyone's checking up behind him. He just slides right into the back end of that 88 ride. Unfortunately, hard contact there for Ryan Haller. Hard contact for Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr. You see John Herbert get tied up into it. A lot of drivers getting some heavy damage. And here comes that 46. Skylar Berry as well. Berry's just trying to keep his truck pointed in the right direction and out of trouble. Unfortunately, he's going to end up going around here. Luckily enough, looks like not really too much damage there for him. But we did see the 101 of Rooster Rodden into the wall right there as everyone just trying to scatter. Everyone just trying to get themselves through the chaos, through the mayhem. Unfortunately, a lot of cats not so lucky. Where is this 01 ride? Where in the world did the 01 truck disappear to, chat? There he is. All right, Rooster Rodden right here. So Rooster's going to get another good look at this one as he's going to end up really nowhere to go here as they're going to be ranking in front of him. He's going to look to try to get through it, and unfortunately, right here, him and Skylar Berry get tied together, and that puts the Lost Society AutoZone ride up and into the fence. So a bit of a wild Duck Donuts caution flag here right around lap number 66, and that's going to make things a little bit more interesting, as we did see Colton Hardy stay out here. So Colton Hardy did not come back down pit road. So Hardy not coming down pit side. Kevin Winker also did not come back down pit road right there. So a couple of the drivers on the older pit strategy, they're electing to stay out once again. They're looking to try to still use it to their advantage. We'll have to wait and see when they finally elect to come down pit road. We do see John Herbert still down pit side. Nate Congdale's just rolling back out there. Here's the 12 and Caleb Kleinert. Everyone trying to get themselves back into the battle here, back into the fun. And obviously there's a lot of very, very destroyed race trucks as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more corners. And we'll get ready to duke it out once again, man, for what's going to be another crazy restart. Old tires, new tires, it's a bunch of a mixture here at the front of the field, as Tower Operator in the chat says hashtag Winker Nation here this evening, hashtag Winker Nation. If you're happy to see Kevin Winker not only qualify on the pole here this evening, but we're still battling here at the front of the field. Even though he's on older tires, it's an older strategy here. We'll have to wait and see how he can pull this one off. As the 97 rider Colton Hardy, great restart there for the 97, but can he hold on and hold off his teammate? As here comes David Traylor Jr. looking to split him. 3 wides that 91 of Merrick Watchorn. Watchorn says, I'm not going to back down. I see a gap. I'm going to shove my truck right into it. And he's looking to battle David Traylor Jr. once again for the race lead. So a tight battle here at the front is, ooh, look out, a little sideways there for the 54. Drag race back down across the line. It's Merrick Watchorn, who I would give that lap to. So Watchorn now leads the way. The 54, David Traylor Jr. sits in second. Clinton Woodby into position number 3 as look out, it is on like Donkey Kong again as there goes the 31 truck. Around goes Paul Durkee. Durkee's around the 33 and Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr.'s tied up in it again, and I do believe that will bring out another caution flag, or it won't bring out another caution flag. Okay, I haven't seen a yellow flag fly as of yet, so I don't know how that did not bring out a caution flag here, chat. There it is. Okay, there's the caution. There it is. There's the yellow. Okay, so here we go. Contact right there. Looks like the 31 and maybe the 51. Okay, so watch the 51 truck right here. It's pretty wild in front of Paul Durkee. Durkee's really got nowhere to go, I think, here in this one. Or just tries to jump up into the way. So the 51 truck, Stevenson, gets really loose right here. Shoots down the racetrack. Ends up bouncing off the 4 ride of Jesse Calloway, then right here, kind of just tail whips him right there, makes contact with the 31, puts that grumpy goat ride up and into the outside fence. The 11's going to run into the back of him, which shoots him down the racetrack. Here comes Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr. Nowhere to go, slides right into that grumpy goat coffee company number 31 ride, and unfortunately that's a big hit right there. Big hit, big contact, and a lot of damage, not only for him but for Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr. as well. That could be game over there for that Misfits number 33 machine here this evening. As let's take a look, he is right now, I don't believe he's, no, he's still, they're still rolling. He's just got a lot of damage on this truck, so that's going to make things very, very tough here to finish off the second half of this feature event as a very tore up Silverado here late in this race. Paul Durkee, he's still got some damage. He's looking to get down pit road, hoping to use a quick repair to get this truck fixed up and back into good working condition. Now, it should bring a few other drivers down pit road as well. Man, this is crazy. I would have thought Kevin Winker right here would have been back down pit side. Colton Hardy, I could have swore they would have been down pit road as well, but they must be looking at trying to keep these caution flags rolling here and seeing if they can hit a magical number that they can get to the end of this race on. If they can make it another 8 laps, 9 laps, 10 laps, somewhere around there, they could probably make it on one more pit stop. So if they can make it to lap 80 on a fuel run, come down pit road, then they should be good to go to the 115 lap marker. Anything past that may be up in the air, but this could definitely make things very, very interesting late in this race to see what these drivers are able to do, which runs they're going to be able to get, who's going to have tires, who's not going to have tires, who's going to be in the winning position or have that winning strategy. Will be very, very interesting as we get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. Here in this one, we're going to get a quick word in from our caution flag sponsor, the always amazing Duck Donuts. Alrighty, shout out there to Duck Donuts as we will get the 1-2 go here in this one. It's came up in the chat. Says strategy, friend, strategy. He said, you're crazy, Winker. You crazy, brother. You is crazy, my boy. Okay, this strategy, if it plays out, if it pays off, hey, man, I'll be the first to congratulate you. That's for dang certain. But for it's definitely going to be what you're working the calculator hard for here tonight. And our operator, Bruce in the chat, says super genius. Super genius. Oh, man, big brain plays out of Kevin Winker here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like Colton Hardy's going to kind of follow him through with it. So I don't know if they talked a little bit about the strategy or if they're both just going to kind of roll with it and see who can have the best run, the best strategy out of it here late in this race, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. Now, I do know one thing is that with this strategy call, the 42 and that 97 ride, they're definitely going to have an extra set of tires in their back pocket. So whether or not things balance out throughout the next 20, 30 laps or so, with pit stops, potentially that late race caution flag, could be an extra set of tires in the back pocket here of Kevin Winker, of Colton Hardy, compared to the rest of the drivers out there on the racetrack, and that could be the winning call here this evening. Is down across the line. They will complete lap number 73 here this evening, so still quite a few laps left to go as we will jump into our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers here this evening in the Duck Donuts 172. Look out as the caution flag will fly once again here in this one. Caution flag coming back out here again this evening. So cautions continuing to breed cautions here in our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up caution flag curse will continue. Let's take a look here. We saw a few drivers going around here right in front of Paul Durkee, and I do believe that it may have been the 11 ride of Coleman, the 20 ride right there as well. Let's take a look here and see kind of where this one gets started. So it is a bit of contact here, I do believe, right here in this group. So let's take a look. So the 2 ride and the 20 ride right here. So it looks like the 2 gets a little bit tight. in the 20 right with a good run, gets into the back end of him right there. And that stacks up the 20 right. Unfortunately, it is the 196 who gets down and underneath of him. Here comes Coleman right into the side of that 20 machine. The 97 of Colton Hardy trying to keep himself out of it. Here comes the 0-0 of Cogswell. Cogswell gets in there as well. Cogswell gets some pretty good contact into that 20 right, but everyone's just trying to scatter their way through here, trying to keep themselves out of the carnage. And unfortunately, a lot of cats getting tore up here in this one as it continues back out onto the straightaway. You watch the 0-0 ride here, unfortunately, of Nate Cogdell. He's going to wash his way back up the racetrack, and we're going to see a few more drivers get collected. Here comes that 31 that we rode on board with, somehow able to get through there, but here comes Nick Gardner, the 51 rider Stevenson. They slide in there, they get tore up in it, and a few other drivers just trying to squeeze through here, trying to get checked up before they get into it, get some damage themselves, so everyone else able to get rolling. But man, that is just tough racing, and for how this one started all the way back in quarter number 4, it doesn't end until just past the start-finish line. As here we go, this will give us another great look at it as the 20 rider Justin Lawson right here, gonna get back into the 2 ride as they stack up a little bit, then he gets ran over, and then it's on like Donkey Kong from that point on, as everyone's just gonna start to fly in here. More drivers gonna get tied up in it, and a few more drivers gonna get absolutely tore up here this evening. So another caution flag, and that's gonna bring another slew of drivers down pit road here. And I do believe still making that strategy call here, Kevin Winker still sticking out. K-Dub still not coming back down pit road, so for Kevin Winker, he's staying out. He's not coming down pit side as of yet. He's going to stick with this strategy. Unfortunately, I do believe Colton Hardy, he is now down pit road here himself. So for the QH Designs TRT Pro number 97, he's going to come down pit side. He's going to get some tires and fuel and everything else, so we'll have to wait and see if that strategy will continue to work for that 97 run. As you do see Haller, you do see Rooster Rodden, Tyler Stevenson, Nate Cogdell, Justin Lawson, Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr., John Herbert, all down pit side, all looking to get some repairs or trying to, just get a bit of a different strategy going here. But I think for a lot of these drivers, it is repair time, and they got to be careful because we may start to see our race leaders go around them, and if they do, they may potentially put them a lap down, and I think we're going to see a few drivers right here lose a lap. And unfortunately for one driver coming back down pit road to make a pit stop, the 11 rider Brandon Coleman, too fast down pit road for the 11 machine in the dead on tools run, gets caught by the iRacing officials here, and unfortunately the iRacing crew is going to give him a black flag here down pit side, so that is going to be a green flag pit stop that he will have to serve here this evening. But that is going to continue to mix things up, as we did see Michael Newman, Cogdell, Nate Cogdell still down pit road. Unfortunately, now at least a lap down. Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr. also staying down pit side here. So both Jimmy and Nate could be potentially done and out of this race. We do see the 87 of John Herbert. He's going to get back out there. He's going to jump into this one again and try to click off a few more laps after that truck gets repaired here. He is about 15 laps down. So unfortunately, well out of this race. But maybe a couple more spots up for grabs for him here in this one. Is here in the Duck Donuts 172. It's been a lot of craziness, a lot of chaos here over the last handful of laps, but here we go, back to green flag racing and back to our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up. So again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, a beautiful crank it up session here from all of these drivers. Crank it up, giving us the sights and sounds around the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway here this evening. As out in front, it is still Merrick Watchorn. Watchorn has the top spot, continues to lead the Duck Donuts 172 here this evening. As he continues to lead that 54, it is Mr. David Traylor Jr. who rolls in that second spot. Clinton Woodby right on his back bumper. Clinton looking to maybe make the move down to the inside. Six there right behind that 54 line though, as Jesse Calloway in fourth and Wyatt Mickelson rounding out our top five. Now, for a lot of these drivers, they are getting very, very close to having to make an additional pit stop here this evening. Now, for a lot of drivers back on lap number 78, when you look at Keith Prince, you look at Caleb Kleinert, maybe Nick Gardner, Colton Hardy, Tyler Stevenson, a lot of these guys that came down pit road on lap 78, lap number 79, they may be good to go here on fuel, but we did see a few drivers having to come back down pit road, and that was that 42 ride of Kevin Winker. K-Dub does have some pretty good fresh tires onto this 42 machine. He's looking to continue to work his way back up towards the front here, but as of right now, having to make that off-sequence green flag pit stop for this 42 truck. He does find himself one lap down. Now, good news is for Kevin Winker is he is in that lucky dog position, but here we go. Green flag pit stops are about to get underway. Here comes David Traylor Jr. David makes his way down pit road. He'll hit his pit stall, and he looks to be the first of our race leaders to start to make these final green flag pit stops here. We'll see Merrick Watchorn next time by. Here he comes down pit side. Here comes Nathan Somerville. Here comes Matthew Catania. So more and more of these drivers making their final pit stops of the evening. Now, if you are Kevin Winker, if you are K-Dub, you may potentially have a bit of a lead. Once this kind of cycles through, you may have a good gap, but you're going to have a little bit older tires than these drivers that are just down pit side right now. So it may come back to him. It may work out into his favor. It'll be interesting to see where everything lines up. And for right now, it doesn't look like he will have really much of an advantage or even the race lead. David Traylor Jr. able to get down pit side, make his pit stop, still has 5 seconds between himself and Kevin Winker. So for David Traylor Jr. and that lead group, they may have been just in front of that 42 ride. Unfortunately, the strategy is going to have to change up here a little bit, maybe a timely caution flag or something to help Kevin Winker out here this evening, as out in front it is Jesse Calloway. Calloway continues to lead the way. Here comes Clinton Woodby now down pit side. Skylar Berry rolls in second, and then Keith Prince. Keith Prince is the top driver right now that was down pit road around lap 78 here this evening. So he leads the way out of those drivers that are, for the most part, pretty decent on fuel. It could get really, really tight. Could be very, very interesting to see whether or not the Sherwin-Williams number 3 machine may be good on fuel, may not be, may still have to make an additional pit stop here late in this race. Caleb Kleiner may be in that same boat. Same with Nick Gardner, Tyler Stevenson, Colton Hardy. That may be why a lot of these other drivers that are a little deeper in the field here maybe try to play it a little bit safer, a little bit smarter here, and maybe just try to save that few laps. Maybe they only got to save a couple laps worth of fuel. If they got enough in their tank, maybe it pays off for them. Maybe they don't have to make that additional pit stop here this evening and be able to just use that fuel to get to the start-finish line before all the other drivers. So we do see one Wildcat up and into the outside fence. That is the 28 ride of Nathan Somerville. Somerville, hard contact there in that stack up ride into the outside fence. You see debris falling off of that truck. So far, no caution flag. We keep it clean and green, but I know for this 28 ride, he'll be looking to head down pit road, and here he comes. So 28 machine back down pit side here, obviously looking to get some extensive repairs done to that 28 machine. But for right now, it is Jesse Calloway who continues to lead the way. Calloway was last down pit side on lap number 61. For Skylar Berry, it was lap number 65, but he does have that 3 machine of Keith Prince right there behind him in the 54 of David Traylor Jr. Just worked his way around that 3 machine, around that 46 ride, and this should put him into the lucky dog position as he looks to hunt down this 4 machine, knowing that that could be the difference maker here in this one. This could be the difference maker if Callaway can make it on fuel somehow. I don't know if no, here we go. He's coming down pit side, so he can't wait any longer. He comes down pit road. So for Skylar Berry, he's now battling Keith Prince for this race lead, and it's going to come right down to the fuel mileage here, Chad. It's going to come right down. The fuel mileage is going to come down to pit strategy here, and who's going to make the move, who's going to bite the bullet, who can save the most, who can be in the best position. And if you are that number 54 right of David Traylor Jr., all you can really do here at this point is just keep your foot in the throttle, keep rolling, keep laying down quick lap times. This is the only thing you got here to potentially put yourself into a winning situation. Same with Merrick Watchorn. He's got to battle with that 54, expecting that everyone in front of them has to come down pit road. If everyone does have to come down pit side, it could really change the strategy up as Clinton Woodby rolls in what would be that 3rd position. Catania in the 196 ride right there as well. I do believe for the 196. Still on the lead lap. He's on that different strategy here as well. So it's Wyatt Mickelson in behind Matthew Catania in that 61 ride. Jesse Calloway falls back into 20th. Kevin Winker, K-Dub, who made that earlier pit stop over everyone else back on lap number 83. You know, he's still in a very tough position as he's still a lap down. He needs the top 4 or 5 drivers to come down pit side before he's back on the lead lap. And he needs a caution flag here if he wants to try to use a late set of tires to his advantage. But for the 3 machine of Keith Prince, Prince has the race lead. Here comes some more of those fresh tires around him here. There goes that 92 ride of Clinton Woodby. He'll make that pass there on that 3 machine as Caleb Kleiner will jump up into second. So right now the gap is about 2.9 seconds. 2.9 seconds between Keith Prince and Caleb Kleiner. Now the big question will be, will they be good on fuel? They got 10 laps left to go here. I think if you're Keith Prince, if you're that 196 ride, or any of these other drivers that were down pit road on lap number 79 or lap number 78, you gotta be really running on fumes. You really gotta be worrying about if you got enough, if you can make it, if you have to make that pit stop, what are you going to do? Can you make a 2-tire stop and come out in a decent position? Can you take no tires, maybe just a splash of gas and go and get a good finish here out of the race? Or maybe you get a caution flag and really throw a loop into this one. We'll have to wait and see because it's only, next time by the start finish line. 8 laps left to go here in this one. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be a lot of fun here this evening to see how this gets played out as Keith Prince, Caleb Kleiner, 1 and 2 out there on the speedway. Nick Gardner back in 3rd. Ashley Ellison Jr. there in 4th. Tyler Stevenson rounding out our top 5. Paul Durkee in position number 6 with Bruce Bernard, Colton Hardy, Harold Rothery, Justin Lawson, Rick LePage, Michael Newman, our top 12 there in that 12 ride. And then we do see David Traylor Jr. He's back here. He's trying to make some passes on these guys. He's trying to work his way back towards the front here. He scored in that 13th position as of right now. Merrick Watchorn there in 14th with Ryan Haller now back into the 15th position. He's on that tire strategy and fuel saving strategy here as he's got Clinton Woodby, Matthew Catania, Wyatt Mickelson, Jesse Calloway, Skylar Berry, our top 20, all going here, starting to catch them. K-Dub back in 21st, Congdale back there in 22nd, Rooster Ronan, Nathan Somerville, Brandon Coleman, Jimmy Fitzmaurice Jr., and John Herbert rounding out the field here this evening as No late race caution flags. We had that slew of yellow flags through that middle portion, and then all of a sudden, they just clean it up, and we're clean and green. It's nonstop great racing action here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh, there it is. Oh, no. Oh, no, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think we jinxed it. I think we jinxed it. This will have major changes here at the front of the field. Down across the line, it is 5 laps left to go. 5 laps left to go, and the caution flag has been displayed. The yellow flag is out, and this changes the entire ball game here this evening. As Rick LePage, the 24 ride, still wrecking here down and out of corner number 4 here. Looks like Rick LePage going to run into some issues. Let's take a look at it here as he shoots it down into corner number 3 and 4. Looks like there's contact in front of him as the 0-0, the 91, they get tied together right here in what could have been a battle for the race lead. If everyone had to come back down pit road, this was a battle here for what could have been potentially the win. It still may be a battle for the win. So the 91 ride, that blue, black, and white car that's running basically in the 3rd lane up here from the bottom. The driver that's on the very bottom, that is David Traylor Jr. They were our race leaders before these started to go, before these things started to happen. And obviously, before the green flag pit stops happened, they were out in front. So they were potentially going to be our top 2 drivers battling for the win. And they're trying to work themselves through some traffic here. And obviously, the hole closes up here from Eric Watchorn. 20 Ryan moves up a little bit to give room for David Traylor Jr. The 00's already up there in that 3rd lane. They kind of run out of room as the 91 Ryan runs up and into that 0-0, shoves Congdell up and into the outside fence, and this is where Rick LePage comes into the picture. So the 00 shoots down the track into the 24 Ryan, which hooks the other fellow Canadian out there on the racetrack up and into the outside fence. Him and Cogdell unfortunately parked the wrong direction here. Both drivers slammed together up into that corner 4 fence. Both drivers with major late race damage, and 24 Ryan parked there on the speedway. Caution flag being displayed, and that's where we see him come to rest, as that is a heartbreaker there for Rick LePage. But now it really mixes things up here, really changes a lot of this race up, because there's going to be some drivers that are going to be hoping for wave arounds or lucky dogs. There's going to be other drivers that are going to be able to make a pit stop now, potentially have fresh tires, and have, fairly decent pit position. When we look at Justin Lawson, he's kind of the first one. So let's take a look back here. Let's go back to these pit stops, and when they start to come down pit side, because Justin Lawson, I wonder if he had an extra set of tires back here, or if he's just looking to get damage repaired. So this is going to be the big question maker here for a lot of these drivers coming down pit side, is going to be the tire wear. When you look at drivers like 27, who does get jacked up, so doesn't the 196 of Caleb Kleinert. Let's take a look back at Keith Prince. Does Prince throw tires onto this number 3 machine? Yeah, it looks like it. So you see this truck actually gets jacked up. The crew is going to work. So for Keith Prince, he's got 4 fresh tires going on to his right as well. Mickelson's going to stay out, and he's going to be the last one on this little bit older tires. Now, it is about 12 laps, 13 lap older tires here. That could play a major factor in this feature event here this evening. So it is now Paul Durkee who's got the race lead. Harold Rothery in second. They stay out here. They do not come down pit road. They have very old tires. They were last down pit side on lap 78 and lap 79. So they are definitely going to be feeling the heat here in a quick hurry, as David Traylor and Merrick Watchorn will be there in 3rd and 4th. Catania, Clinton Woodby, and Wyatt Mickelson rounding out our top 7. They were all down pit road there. Our 3rd to 8th place driver, they were down pit side, or 3rd to 7th place. They were down pit road around lap 97, 96, 98. But now it is Keith Prince who sits in that 8th position. He's the front runner here with the best tires out of the drivers that just came down pit road, including Caleb Kleiner, Nick Gardner, Ash Ellison Jr., Tyler Stevenson. So there's a slew of different tires, and this could get crazy as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. It will be a regulation-timed green, white, checkered here to potentially finish things off here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. What do you guys think? Comment in the comment section right now. Do we make it another lap, or do we we see another caution flag fly before we get that white flag. As a good start, good launch right there for that 31 of Paul Durkee. Durkee gets a pretty solid launch. Gets a good run, good drive here as the 91 right of Merrick Watchorn kind of gets blocked here. Kind of stuck in behind that 2 right, looking to split it. Can't quite find the groove. As here comes David Traylor. Here comes Clinton Woodby. Down low, it's the 54 looking for the race lead. David Traylor Jr. back out in front, but look out. Caleb Kleiner sideways. Is the caution flag going to fly? They're wrecking down and across the line, and I do believe the white flag has been displayed. The white flag has been thrown, so they are going to battle back to the start-finish line. This race is not over. There is carnage on the front straightaway. We will keep it clean. We will keep it green as David Traylor Jr. here this evening for the final time. Down into corner number 3. Oh, there's contact back behind him. Look out, Merrick Watchorn upside down, but it's a drag race back to the line, and it's David Traylor Jr. who picks up the checkered flag here this evening. David Traylor Jr. gets it done and puts himself up and in to victory lane here at the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway. As Tyler Stevenson looks to be scored in position number 2. Harold Rothery will come home in 3rd. Wyatt Mickelson will finish this race in position number 4 here this evening with Nick Gardner, Colton Hardy, Michael Newman, Keith Prince, Jesse Calloway, and Justin Lawson rounding out our top 10 here this evening. But let's take a look back here at some of the craziness as David Traylor, he is going to get ready to start the party here. He's going to get ready to burn down the house here as the QH Designs Metalhead Truck Series Johnny Johnson Motorsports ride will get ready to celebrate here after a big win here at the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway here this evening. He's absolutely pumped. He's excited. He is absolutely thrilled to pick up the dub here this evening as he'll continue to celebrate here on the front straightaway. Let's see if we can go back and take a look at some of the carnage and mayhem here on that final lap, because it could have some major changes here. Obviously, there could definitely be some major penalties, black flags, a lot of different things that could come out here late in this race, because there's a lot of craziness going on here, chat. And I do believe we take a look back here. Let's take a look at Wyatt Mickelson in the middle here. Let's see if we can get another angle at this one. See if we can get another look at it, because here we go. Down into 3 and 4. Coming out of 4. You just see the 196 ride right here. Okay, so I'm not sure if he gets any contact or help. It just looks like the rear end in that Majula State Speed Shop. 196 of Caleb Kleiner gets loose, slides around here. As he does, he washes up the racetrack right into that 61 of Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson really nowhere to go. He gets contact into it. Then you're going to watch the 196 and his teammate right there. And it's Caleb Kleiner. They get tied up into it. Their other teammate as well, the 133 of Ashley Ellison. He gets tied up into it. And you see all this chaos and mayhem here down and through the infield as everyone's just trying to scatter, trying to figure out where they need to go, trying to keep their drives alive here this evening, and obviously trying to stay somewhat in the battle, as you never know. The caution flag could have potentially been thrown right here. But iRacing, obviously already with the white flag in the air, they elect to throw the white flag and not the caution flag. So unfortunately for all these drivers, they're going around, nothing that they can do, and unfortunately everyone's just trying to work their way through it. As you see Keith Prince, a lot of these other drivers, they're just trying to stay alive here. They're still racking, they're still spinning down through the infield here. A lot of drivers trying to stay out of it. You see Kevin Winker ends up getting a piece of that 0-1 ride, so now Winker's got a bunch of front left damage here, and everyone else just still trying to stay into it. And then it comes down to corner number 3. So keep a close eye on this 51 truck. So the 51, Tyler Stevenson, gonna get a good run here. Gets a good run, jumps down to the inside, and just shoots it in there for all she's worth. Down onto the apron, right into that left rear quarter panel of the 92 of Clinton Woodby. And that's just going to take Woodby out, and in turn takes Merrick Watchorn out. And you're going to watch this 91 up and into the catch fence here. He is going to go up onto his side here and ride the rim here in this one, and then go upside down. But you watch some of these other drivers just trying to get through there, just trying to keep themselves out of trouble. And it's the 92 ride who's obviously got a ton of left front of damage now on this truck. After that contact, comes down the track, ends up clipping Durkee right here. Durkee hard up into the wall. The 92 into the fence. Everyone else still trying to get through there as you see Merrick Watchorn flying upside down. You see a few more drivers getting tied up into it. See if we can play this one back and continue watching this number 91 ride, because Merrick was for a while right here, Chad. This is absolutely insane contact. Obviously, insane move right here. I don't know where this move was coming from, but obviously saw a hole, tried to throw it in there. Paid off for him, did not pay off for the other two drivers, but you see this 91 right in the rim. They're still wrecking down in the corner number 4. Then he's going to get clipped here. The 28 right going to get into him. He goes upside down. Sky high here in this one, man. A ton of carnage, ton of damage, and a lot of tore up race trucks, and unfortunately for some of them, did not even get to finish this feature event. So that's the craziness there in those final laps. Now, I'm not sure how things are going to be scored, how things are going to be viewed, or anything else. All we do know is that David Traylor Jr. is our race winner. He picks up the dub. He puts this number 54 up and into victory lane. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, right now, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys jump into the comments section and let us know here. Honestly, if you guys like the racing action, if you guys enjoyed the broadcast, but also congratulate our race winner. Let's get some congratulations in the chat right now for David Traylor Jr. as David picks up the win. We'll get ready to pull him up here into the broadcast booth for the post-race interviews. Let's get him up here right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Give it up for our race winner, David Traylor Jr. Hey, David, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Hey, I got you, Aaron.
David, man, what a run, what a drive for you here this evening. Obviously, a pretty fast truck and a lot of different strategy going into this race, but we see it early on, able to lead the way here. You lead a few laps. Merrick gets you, though, at that stage, but you come home with some pretty good stage points, and then it comes down to these long runs here. Obviously, a good long run, and then right as you guys were probably about ready to start to come down pit side, caution flag comes out. You guys pit, you make your bed there, and then obviously a lot more cautions start to come out. They start to flow in on a consistent level there, basically from lap 60 to about lap 80 or so, and that really changed the entire game of this race, I think. I think with all those yellows kind of really mixed up everyone's pitch strategy. So then when you guys had this final green flag run, I mean, I think a lot of you guys were just expecting and waiting for that caution flag to come. And finally, for yourself, after making that green flag pit stop, you get that caution flag. You get the yellow. Obviously, now you've burned up a little bit of your tires. The driver's back behind you just came down pit side, put their fresh tires on, and now you just got to go to work. You got that track position kind of back. You got some old tires in front of you. You got new tires back behind you, and you just got to duke it out here till the bitter end. And somehow or another, through some of the chaos, some of the carnage, and a great restart, you're able to find your way up here into victory lane again here this evening with the Metalheads Racing League, man. Take us through it. What's going through your mind here in this one?
I mean, yeah, you covered it there. It was that was wow. I don't know if I've driven that hard in a long time. You know, I know this race was a little messy there for a while. But at the same time, we had those green flag runs. When you get both of them in the same race, it really makes the strategy really just all over the place. You know, I was talking to Harold there after the race there, and I said, yeah, man, you know, when you pit under green and you've had, you know, strings of cautions, it can instantly change your race. You know, you can pit under green, and then all of a sudden you're a lap down and 18th place when you just came from the lead, and you never see the light of day again. So it had it all. You know, some green flag runs, some short runs, some green flag stops, you know, a little bit of wrecking. That's part of it. This is a tight track. It's tight. I wasn't the cleanest driver. I had to be aggressive. No ill will to the 91, the 31. Any of the guys I made a little bit of contact with. It's you know, I'm just doing what I can here. But no, that was the most fun I've had in a long time. You know, spending racing up there front with Matt Catania and Merrick. You know, those guys are you see their speed week in and week out, and it keeps me on my toes. You know, it's really good to get this win early in the season. get one under the belt, and then try to start clicking them off. But wow, they made me work for it. And then yeah, green, white, checkered, anything can happen. And luckily had just enough left in the tank on the tires to get her done.
Yeah, absolutely. Just enough there to keep these guys back there at bay. And obviously, down into corner number 3, we're getting a little bit nervous there. Obviously, you got Clinton Woodby, you got Merrick Watchorn right there. And then as you head into corner number 3, you see them closing towards your back bumper. And I don't know if you were watching that mirror or not, because all of a sudden the 51 ride poked his nose underneath of both of them and virtually took those two guys out, which gave you, a pretty clean back bumper down here across the start-finish line. Without that contact, you'd think maybe Merrick or the 92 might have been able to give you a run back down here to the line.
It's possible. Going through one there, I saw that Merrick got a really good run on the top. But my plan was pretty much to drive it in as deep as I could without basically just going up and hitting the wall. I definitely was looking in the mirror, which has gotten me before. I can't help but do it. But yeah, I drove it in there deeper than I had all race, knowing that they were going to be doing the same thing, trying to bump and run. That's part of it. I knew they were going to try to get to me. So drove it in deep, and then once I knew I wasn't gonna hit the wall, kind of made the corner stick. I looked in the mirror and kind of saw the carnage back there. I'd have loved to been able to race it out with them. I think at least one of them probably could have got side by side with me, because I was killing my exit speed to keep it clean off of them. So we will. Well, guess we'll never know. But yeah, like I said, anything can happen on those green, white checkers, and it's chaos, and I hate it for those guys. They had a great race. The finishing position will never show it. But obviously all you had to do was watch the race. The 91, the 92, they were up there fighting for the win the whole time. So a huge shout out to those guys.
Yeah, absolutely tough break for them and how it ended, but a great break for you as you were able to drive down here into the Charlotte Speedway victory lane here this evening in the Duck Donuts 172. David, who would you like to thank for another great run and great win here this evening?
Yeah, first off, thanks to the rest of the admins and the guys on the team with me here at Below the Line Garage. Colton Hardy, Skylar Berry, Nate Cogdell, me and the admins here, we try to keep it fun here. I think we had a really interesting race that we put on tonight. Strategy, speed, all kinds of stuff. A little bit of tempers, that's never a bad thing, but as long as it's kept in check. So huge shout out to the rest of the admin team for putting this together with us. And then thanks to the sponsors that come on board this season and make this whole thing possible. Admin Box, The Winning Bid, CCR Esports, Doug Donuts, Full Throttle Outlaws. They all have a part in why we're out here racing for a little bit of money. It's a long season and it makes it fun, and we wouldn't be able to do it without them. So huge shout out to them. The main one, obviously, on the truck, QH Design and Johnny Johnson Motorsports. Two guys that I probably wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for them. Helped me with some equipment and just how to get around this place. So big shout out to them. And then thanks to you for putting the broadcast on. I can't wait to go back and watch this one. I know this is gonna be an exciting one. I know you keep the energy up there in the booth, so we really appreciate what you do for us. And then obviously shout out to the other guys on the podium, the 51 and the 2. For now, it's anything can happen. It all it takes is one guy to mess up a corner and you're not there. So huge shout out to them for finishing that race. And then my dad watching home and my fiance for letting me do this.
Absolutely, brother. Well, David, heck of a run, heck of a drive here this evening as you're able to park that beautiful QH Designs 54 ride up here into the Charlotte Motor Speedway victory lane for the Duck Donuts 172. Brother, congrats on the win, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth next Monday.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Aaron.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the number 54 as David Traylor Jr. picks up the dub here this evening, putting himself up and into victory lane. As we get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, it's the 51 ride. Tyler Stevenson comes home in second. Now, I don't know if there may be any penalties potentially on the way for that last lap move for the 51 ride, but we'll see what he's got to say and see how he feels about the contact here this evening. Hey Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
I do.
Tyler, man, a solid run, solid drive here throughout this race. We saw you up there battling inside the top 5 for a lot of the early portion of this race, and obviously things got a little bit busted open there with numerous caution flags through the middle of this race, some different pit strategies for drivers, including yourself, and then late in this race, that green-white checker to really, finish things off. Obviously, a lot of different tire strategy there, a lot of different pitch strategy, and you find yourself battling your way up towards the top 5 once again. Some contact, some carnage around you. You're able to get through it, and now you find yourself in a 4-car breakaway here for the race win this evening. And then take us back through that final lap there. It's obviously contact down into 3 between you and the 92 ride. Shoves him up the racetrack into the 91 and allows you to squeeze through and steal that second and third position. But obviously, I'm sure those two drivers and some other cats may not be very happy with that late race contact, man. Take us back through the entire night and then take us back, through that last lap contact.
Yeah, I qualified decent. I was just trying to, save the tires the whole race, honestly, and just see if I can get people in the long run, which worked in the first stage, got up to third, got past my teammate. So that was like showing that, hey, I can save my tires. I was able to run the bottom in 3 and 4 pretty well. So I just, was like, just try to stay up front and all that stuff. And then I think on like one run, I was on the top because people stayed out. And so I got pushed back a little bit. I wasn't too good on pit road today either. So that was not fun. But I got loose just on the top, and I saved it, but got me a little damage. And then the caution came out, so then I had to go to the back to fix it. And I was just kind of stuck back there, and there's chaos, and it's not fun being in the back, the hornet's nest. So I was just hopefully maybe try to stay out on that last stint because I was pretty close on fuel, and I was just saving. I was like, okay, probably gonna get like a 6th place. I think that's where I was running with 4 to go. And then the caution comes out. I was like, okay, got another set. We throw that on. I was like, all right, green, white checker starting from like 10th. I was like, with 4 tires, and, I have a shot at it. It's tough. And these trucks, tires mean a lot. So we go in. Caleb gets loose in front of me. He goes up the track. That causes carnage. And I get through that. And I'm like, I'm up in the top 5, and I'm the first car in 4 tires. Like, got a real shot at it. Get by a couple people. And then just coming down the back stretch, I just see that they're up all by the wall. And it was a split second. I was like, I got to go to the bottom, I got to go for it. I'm trying to get, because like I still thought I could maybe get the 54 if I get down on that bottom and maybe get a run through the corner. So it just wasn't there. The gap was clearly not there. And maybe I thought maybe on old tires they would slide up and, I'd get away with it. But I got down on the apron and got up into the 92. And I already apologized to him. He's not happy out of it. I'm not happy that move happened. That's, that doesn't represent me as a racer. Like, that was just a stupid move. Like, so, I don't know if I'll keep the 2nd place. I don't know what penalty. I'm probably gonna get something, but it was a good race. Just didn't like the way it ended there. So that's my night.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of drivers that are probably not very happy with how their night's finished here. Obviously, carnage down the front straightaway there, and then down into corner number 3 and 4 there on that final lap. And obviously for yourself, fresh tires, you're trying to make that move, you're trying to win the race. Obviously, you're going to take your shot there, and these holes at Charlotte, man, at any racetrack, they fill so quickly, and cats are a little bit more inclined to maybe throw more of a block or try to pinch you down or up the racetrack. Did it cross your mind? Did you think maybe going for the high side there, maybe trying to get a big run through 3 and 4 on the outside, maybe just pin it to the fence and try a Ross Chastain move and see if you can make it stick?
Well, the guy, the 91, I think, was on the outside. He was right against the wall, so like I was just gonna be behind him. So really, I only saw the bottom open up for like a split second, and that's just my mind already kind of committed to that because I just thought they would go up the track more because they're on old tires, but it happens. I mean, the best thing you can do is just let it sit, give it a time, and hopefully we can just go and run it's going to a clean race at Hickory. That'll be fun. It's a short track. So, but, just going to think about this one, let it ponder on me. And, we'll come back here next week, hopefully. And, just try to be better. That's the best you can do.
That is absolutely the best you can do here after a tough race, tough finish here. But for yourself, I mean, for now, a second place run. You're the second driver at least across the line, but, a pretty successful day there for the most part here out of that 51 machine. And obviously, a pretty solid performance if there wasn't that contact, even if you settled back in and came home in that fourth
Yeah.
position. Obviously, would have been a really, really good point stay here for you early on in the season, man. So who'd you like to thank, though, still for, a solid run and solid day here at Charlotte?
I just got to thank all my teammates, Caleb, Ashley, um, Matthew, all of them. Is like, oh God, I'm missing someone. Gardner. Um, I can't think of your first name right now, but I just got to thank all of them at CCR for giving me the opportunity to race here. So it's just hopefully I can do better next week. That's all I gotta leave with this one.
Absolutely. Well, next week, as you said, man, off the Hickory, another short track. We saw how the Clash win
Yeah.
obviously could be a caution-filled, chaotic day at the Speedway. So you may have to wait a couple of weeks to kind of redeem yourself after tonight, man. But nonetheless, heck of a drive, heck of a run here, man. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Monday night, Tyler. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for now our second place finisher, the 51 ride, Tyler Stevenson. As much as we don't know if there'll be any late race penalties or anything else that may, have consequences to the actions there with that last lap move for this second position. But for now, he does cross the line in P2, so we'll bring him up here into the booth, and now we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher, the number 2 ride of Harold Rothery. Hopefully I'm getting that right. We have to ask him how he says his last name. Hey, Harold, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Hey, I got you.
Harold, man, solid run, solid drive for you here tonight. Obviously up inside the top 10, top 15 pretty much all evening long. And then obviously some different tire and pitch strategy there late in this race. And with the late race caution flag, you're one of 2 drivers that elect to not come down pit road there since lap number 78. So you and the car to your outside on much older tires on a completely different strategy, and you got a lot of fast cats and a lot of good tires back there behind you, and somehow or another, with them wrecking and being full of chaos and everything else there, you're able to still survive and come home here with a third place finish here this evening, man. Take us back through it and take us through those closing laps and what was going through your mind.
Yeah, I just happy to finish one of these races on the lead lap. I just get in here and have a good time, and I know I wanted a short pit, and I thought, well, if we didn't have a caution, I'd be all right. And that last stint, I was running half throttle, just to save fuel. And teammates Jimmy Fitzmaurice, he was like, you're ready. You got enough, so let's go. So. And then we got a caution. That last restart, I started on the outside. Didn't get a real good restart. Pushed up. Got shuffled back a little bit. And then, I don't know. I was like, well, fifth, top 10 will do, right? I'll be happy with a top 10. And then I seen Trevor coming up through there and the pink car in my rearview mirror blocking the track. And I was like, all right, we might get a top 30 out of this, so I'm just happy. Misfits Motorsports gave me a fast Monster Energy hot rod tonight, and again, I'm just here to have a good time and just finish,
Absolutely.
just entertainment for me.
Absolutely, brother. Well, it was a night full of entertainment here, especially in those closing laps. And for yourself, right place, right time. You're able to put yourself up here onto the podium with a very solid second place run here this evening. Harold, who would you like to thank for a great run and great performance and obviously an amazing finish here this evening for yourself?
I'd like to, first of all, I'd like to thank Misfit Motorsports for these teammates I got. They're great teammates. My wife, she's my biggest fan. She watches every race we broadcasted. Thank her for letting me be a pretend race car driver for a couple hours a night. And my grandkids, Amelia, Jenny Lynn, my mom and dad watches. I'm just an old retired guy that has a good time, and darn, I'm ready. I'm ready to go jog a couple laps around the block now. I'm all fired up after this finish. But
Absolutely.
Nate, for putting on a heck of a league, all the admins, you for putting on one heck of a broadcast for us. So it's a big team effort for sure.
Absolutely, brother. And hey, you know what? We are happy to finally have you up here in the broadcast booth. Now, one more thing before we let you go, brother. How do you correctly pronounce your last name?
Rothery.
Rothery. Okay.
Yep.
So I was saying it right.
That's
Okay.
it. Yep.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, awesome.
Beauty.
Yep.
All right, well, Harold, heck of a run, heck of a drive here this evening, man. Hopefully we'll get you back up here for, maybe a few more trips this season here into the broadcast booth. Maybe you can get lucky at one of the plate tracks or another one of these races and see this 2 ride up in Victory Lane.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher here this evening. The number 2 ride, Harold Rothery. Rothery comes home in position number 3 here this evening, man. Give some congratulations in the chat there for the number 2 machine here this evening. As unfortunately the chaos, the carnage, and the amazing racing action coming to a close here in this one, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, man. If you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor here. It's absolutely free to do. Helps us out a ton, man. Hit the like button on the stream for us right now. Hit that thumbs up button for us, and hit that subscribe button right now. Hit the subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today. Turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go green flag racing. We'll be back in action again tomorrow night. Some more amazing racing, some more amazing battles here in these NASCAR trucks tomorrow evening as well. So make sure you guys tune in and enjoy some more amazing racing here on Peacemaker Gaming pretty much every single night of the week. But listen, unfortunately, that will end things for us here tonight in this one. Huge shout out to Duck Donuts for the Duck Donuts 172, our race sponsor here this evening, and to all these amazing drivers, all you amazing fans for making this possible. Unfortunately, that is going to do it for us here this evening. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you all back here in the next one, man. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
Mellow bass screaming, rubber burns on black. Engines roaring thunder, ain't no turning back. Beast make a friction, sparks light the night. Track of war sounds, adrenaline takes flight. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve out the name. Rebels on my six, but my grip don't waver. Drafting with sharp, every move's got flavor. Brakes don't squeal, they scream in heat. On the asphalt battlefield, where the fierce come paint. we fly. Nitrous things pumping, we touch the sky. Back grandstands buzz, saying our name. Each lap we conk ignites the gay flame. Metalheads moving, the trucks take the lead. Chasing that cloud through the chaos insane. Diesel hearts pumping, it's a high-speed game. Victory lap, gonna carve